I'm just wrapping up my stay in Stewart, British Columbia, which is an amazing little town. Becky at the public library played a huge role in getting last week's episode out, so I want to give a shout out to her first and foremost. Now I am off. I'm going to punch in Skagway, Alaska. 1,120 kilometers and 15 hours to Skagway. So that's the plan. I'm actually sad to leave Stewart, British Columbia. I was only there for a few days, but it's such an inviting and close-knit community. I made friends, I got to know the culture very quickly. Northbound on the Cassiar Highway in western British Columbia. The Stikine River. My friend John Jacobs sent me cans of flavored Spam from Hawaii, and I've never cooked with Spam before, if this qualifies as cooking. So I put it on the scuttle, and I'm making a sandwich that really looks and smells kind of good. I'm not sure if this is sandwich material. It's delicious though. I'm at Sawmill Recreation Area, which is a free campground on Dease Lake in British Columbia. And it's beautiful. I'm extremely surprised how few people there are here, especially on a Saturday night. But there are a few campsites right on the shore, and there's fire rings, picnic tables. This is a good find. It's Saturday night on Dease Lake, and you can't see me, but this looks cool, so I'm running with it. I don't have the campsite to myself anymore. As the day went on, a lot of other people rolled in, and I met some of them. And everyone passing through here on the Cassiar Highway is on some remarkable adventure. I met a couple of cyclists who are working their way south through North America, and another couple from Russia and Argentina who are just basically out exploring. Wanderlust is alive and well. It's Sunday morning, and I'm about to roll out of Sawmill Recreation Area, just as dense smoke from a nearby wildfire comes rolling in. It's really intense. I ventured off of Route 37 North briefly because this forest road spoke to me. My topographical map shows a lot of lakes and stuff like that. It hasn't delivered yet after several kilometers. I'm hoping it does soon. My gas is in a good place, so I figured I could afford it. This forest road keeps going and going and going. My gas is in good standing, but I want to keep it that way. So, to play it safe, I'm going to turn back now and make my way back to Route 37. I'm at the campgrounds at Boyle Lake Provincial Park, and the lake is stunning. I'm going to try to find a day use area. There's a campground, but unfortunately it's $20 a night. I can, but I try to avoid fee sites just to save money. This color is absolutely unreal. Seriously. I had a bit of a learning experience after my visit to Boyle Lake today. I set off to find a campsite for the night and ventured down a two-track that went on for several miles, and then it terminated at a river. At the river was the perfect place to set up camp, so I popped the camper and started making hot dogs. While I was doing so, I was approached by a native family, and they expressed surprise to see me there. They didn't know who I was or what I was doing there, and they were very friendly, and it was a very positive experience, but they gave me permission to spend the night, basically implying that I was someplace that I didn't belong. And there was no way for me to know that. There wasn't any indication on my base maps, no signs, no structures. It was just a nondescript dirt road that terminated at a river. Respectful and responsible land use is absolutely paramount to me. So even though they gave me permission to stay, I opted to head out after my hot dogs, and I came to a public campground, which is where I'm at now. It taught me a valuable lesson, to not be so cavalier in my explorations in northern British Columbia, because there is a native population here, and even though it might look like a nondescript dirt road, it could very well be someone's private property. I could have just as easily omitted that experience from my episode, but it taught me to be more mindful, especially on foreign soil, and I feel like that's an important thing to pass on. It's Monday morning, and once again I'm northbound on the Cassiar Highway. I have only about 30 kilometers left of this highway until I reach Yukon Territory and then the Alaskan Highway. This route has been long, but it's been amazingly beautiful.
Thank you. 13,000 K rings let go. I was not happy.
That's not encouraging.
No, it wasn't.
Hey, bird of ominous foreboding. I'm at Watson Lake in the Yukon Territory. It's the first time in 3 days that I've had cell service. I stocked up on food. I refueled the Jeep. Now I have a decision to make. I have a ferry reservation in Skagway, Alaska on the 18th. Do I want to go straight to Skagway and kind of work out of there, or do I want to stop at Whitehorse first, check out the town, and then continue to Skagway? I need to do a little research, especially while I have cell service. I am at that sign place in Watson Lake, Yukon Territory, and you've likely seen it before because every content creator who passes through here records all the sights and sounds. And yes, there is an extraordinary number of signs here, and shoes, and license plates. Annie Ann's, a pretzel company based out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I have family there. Whitehorse or Skagway? What I decided is I don't need to know right now. I've got a couple hundred kilometers before I actually need to make that decision, so I'm going to focus on finding a campsite. All I know is I'm going to be wrapping up the week in Skagway, and it's only Monday, so there's plenty of time. I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate this. It's very windy and it's drizzling a little bit, but this is Yukon's Alaska Highway heading westward toward Alaska, and it's just extraordinary, and it's worth sharing. I don't mind tackling decrepit old bridges in the Jeep from time to time, but I truly don't have an answer for this one. Across this bridge is the village of Teslin in Yukon Territory. Probably stop for gas on the other side and continue looking for a campsite, which I'm not doing too well so far. Well, this isn't the least bit glamorous, but this campsite will do. I wanted to find a spot to spend the night probably like 3 hours ago, and I've been striking out. I'm ready to call it a day. Monday night, Yukon Territory. I am west of Teslin, somewhere near Johnson's Crossing. The temperature is about 60 degrees Fahrenheit in mid-August, and that feels a lot like fall weather, like it would back in Pennsylvania. So, sweatshirt, pants, you can be outside in a t-shirt, but it's a little bit cool. The Cassiar and Alaska Highways are traveled predominantly by RVs and campers. There's so many of them. I've seen a G-Wagon that's nicely set up on portal axles, and even one of those monstrous overland campers, kind of like a GXV, but it wasn't. It was huge, but it had a European cab, so I'm not sure what it was. But so many people, all travelers, and I'm sure all of them have stories to tell. It's Tuesday morning, around 6:30 a.m. I thought about it last night, and I will be heading to Whitehorse today. It's only an hour further west on the Alaska Highway. There's coffee shops, a public library, so I can do a little bit of work, and it'd be a shame to miss it. I certainly have plenty of time to get to Skagway. Midnight Sun Coffee Roasters. Sounds good. Midnight Sun in Yukon Territory, and it's a bike shop as well as a coffee shop.
No, it's sad. We are correct.
I'm at the public library in Whitehorse getting some work done. My computer is inside the Jeep doing stuff, and I'm gonna lock it in here and go for a walk around town. I better not touch this machine. Oh, my dad. I got the Summer Lovin'. I wish I could play the piano, but I can't. I can only make horrible noises come out of it. I wish I could play that and the violin. They're my two favorite instruments, but ain't nobody got time for that. I'm too busy exploring. I was in the Whitehorse library today when someone came in shouting, "Someone's truck is on fire," and basically everyone in the library got up and went outside to the parking lot. I didn't think it would be the Jeep, but it was the truck right next to the Jeep. It was a cigarette-related mishap, and it was quickly extinguished by the owner, so nothing came of it. But man, my heart was racing a mile a minute. That is not the way that I want this journey to end. Even though the fire was out, I moved the Jeep anyway. It's Wednesday morning, and I'm in Carcross, Yukon Territory. It's a charming historic community in southern Yukon, and it seems to be a very popular destination for mountain bikers. It's August 18th, 2018, and that is a wildfire south of Carcross, Yukon, north of the British Columbia border, and on the east side of Tagish Lake. I'm on a hike up to Paddy Peak with new friends I met on the drive up here. Vero and Hannah from Whitehorse. And this is north of Skagway, south of Carcross in British Columbia.
It's hard to tell. So the trail kind of like hangs a right and then like over the ridge.
This is breathtaking, literally and figuratively. I'm running on coffee power, but it's worth it.
That's a little lake, and then how about that? Wow, this is quite nice.
Well, this was an unexpected adventure. If it hadn't been for Vero and Hannah, I probably wouldn't have gotten out of the Jeep today. Serendipity. What a truly wonderful day. First, I was exploring a route that Live, Work, Wander made me aware of. They just happened to be there days before, and I knew there was some amazing scenery at the top. On my way up this really primitive, technical dirt road, I encountered Vero and Hannah. They asked, "Do you know if this goes to Paddy Peak, and can you give us a ride to the top?" So I was like, "I don't know," and okay. So I made room for them and we drove to the top. It was about 7 kilometers. And Vero said, "You're welcome to join us on our hike if you'd like." You know what happened after that. But if they hadn't encountered me, they wouldn't have had enough time today to reach the summit. And if I hadn't encountered them, I wouldn't have gone on an extraordinary hike, let alone with new friends. So it's funny how experiences conspire to happen. It's Thursday morning and I'm on my way to Skagway, Alaska. Not to do the tourist thing so much today, I'm on a mission. I need to see what kind of internet access I have to decide whether or not I need to start working on the video today or if I can do it tomorrow. The landscape out here just does not quit. I've never seen anything like it. Welcome to the USA. All right, I have the Alaska sign all to myself. Let's do this. Welcome to Alaska, Internet. I'm a dork. Sorry. I'm currently in Skagway, Alaska, and I'm going to show you more of it in next week's episode. But for now, during our hike yesterday, Vero recommended that I go to Skagway Brewery and try their halibut burger. And I was like, okay.
So no tomato, no onion on one. Okay.
It's Thursday afternoon, and that's a wrap for this week. I spent the day in Skagway, which is really cool, by the way. I'll show you more of that in next week's episode. But mainly I was looking for fast internet, and it's non-existent. So I came out to find a campsite, which I did, and I'm going to spend the rest of the day inside the Jeep putting together this week's video. So by tomorrow morning, I should have a file that's ready to push to YouTube. You guys saw the landscapes that I crossed this week, and they're incredible. I don't have words for them. What I didn't see, surprisingly, was a lot of wildlife. I saw one porcupine, and I saw bears rustling in the bushes, but they never emerged, so I didn't get a good shot. There's still plenty of time for wildlife. But thank you for following along, and a reminder to my Patreon subscribers that all of my GPS data is available on Dropbox. So if you want to follow along, visit some of these places in person, you're able to do so. But I'll catch up with you guys again next week. Until then,